Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Had to hit the opera on you knockers. So, basically today, the media is at it again. They had to make it about player versus player. On the odd couple, who I like to call the bum couple, who both guys are basically haters. One guy is just a LeBrownie's ass kisser, and the other guy, he's just a straight up hater. He just hate everybody. He hate everybody who's a winner, but he always support the bums though. Now, they basically asked this question. Whose career would you rather have, Tim Duncan or Kobe Bryant? And my thing is this. Didn't both of them win 5 rings? Kobe went one more time than Tim. And, they both were tied at 5. Tim was one away from being perfect 6-0. But Popovich, dumbass, took him out the game and allowed Bosh to tip the ball to Ray Allen to seal their fate. And Kobe, the Detroit game, they lost. Basically, Detroit devised a defensive plan to, basically, like Chauncey Billups said, put them against each other. And they already had tension already going on in the locker room. Then he lost in Boston because Pau Gasol was Gasolfed. KG, congrats to him going in the Hall of Fame, was punking him. So they basically asked, whose career would you rather have? Kobe, Tim Duncan, or KG? And Rob and these LeBrownie fans and all these haters love bringing up the Phoenix game, the Phoenix series, where they lost the 3-1 lead. If people remember, the Lakers weren't even supposed to be there. If it wasn't for Kobe at the end of the season and that 81-point game, the Lakers would have been at home because their team was trash. They were straight garbage, and Kobe was lifting these guys. He was willing these guys to the playoffs. He willed them there. We've never seen nothing like that before. And then robparker trying to say, I don't know why people just love to gloss over, when Kobe just quit that game. Nobody glossed over that dummy. He didn't quit. The thing is, Kobe was pissed off at Phil because Phil kept talking about run that bullshit triangle. That damn triangle that wasn't working. The Suns were deeper. Even without Amari, they still could win because they were deep. They had better talent on their team. That's what I'm saying. These media guys and their narratives. You call Kobe Bryant selfish. Really? Let's talk about your guy, Karen Rodgers. A guy who's throwing stones from behind a glass house. A guy who's throwing stones, holding the Green Bay Packers hostage, which you dissed the quarterback that was right before him, who you said basically held the franchise hostage. You frowned upon that, but now that he's doing it, it's okay for him to do it. You see how hypocritical robparker is? You see how I just destroyed his whole everything? He's a clown. Chris Broussard picked Kobe because Chris Broussard, no, Kobe, dude, it don't matter whose career. Their careers are over. They all had great careers. KG, to me, for what he was coming out of high school to have the career he had, was amazing. Especially when he didn't have the teams that Tim Duncan had on a consistent basis. He didn't have the teams that Kobe had on a consistent basis. But I've seen Kobe with lesser talent than both guys get them to the playoffs and willed them to the playoffs. And then Rob Parker's gonna say, well, I think if Kobe never got Powell, I don't think he would have won. And then Chris Broussard says something finally smart. Well, if Tim Duncan didn't have Tony Parker or Manu Ginobili, he wouldn't have won. If Tim Duncan would have never had that Spurs team with David Robinson, Sean Elliott and all them, plus it was a half season, the season should have never started, but they started it anyway. Nobody counts that ring, dude, because it was a half season. It was a half season, dog. If you take that ring away, dude, he got 4 rings. So that's what I'm saying, and I'm not disrespecting Tim because I love Tim Duncan. He's in my top 5. Tim Duncan was amazing. He was, especially prime Tim Duncan. Oh my gosh. Prime Tim Duncan was unstoppable. And then some idiot's gonna say, well, he's the top of his position and Kobe's the second in his position. I'm like, dude, first of all, how are you going to compare? Listen, if you had a team that was already built, that was one piece away from a championship, you would add Tim Duncan to that team. Because Tim Duncan, as great as he is the greatest superstar that was the greatest cog in history. Then that's not a bad thing. He was a perfect fit. But if you need somebody to lead your franchise and to be the face of your franchise and to push it over the top, like carry that team game in, game out, you would go with Kobe Bryant. Because it was a lot of nights Tim Duncan was off, Tony Parker and Ginobili stepped up. Now, if we go to Kobe didn't have nobody after Shaq. It was Smush and Kwame, so it was up to him or bust. And they mostly bust that season. Then he got hurt and Mamar got hurt. So the media continues this. Then Rachel Nichols asked Tim Duncan a damn LeBron question. Who cares about LeBron? Rachel Nichols has exposed herself again. I am pissed off at Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson for having her lie up there, talk about how her and Kobe was this and that when y'all weren't. You never liked Kobe. You never liked him. Your guy is LeBrownies, the bald-headed wonder. The bald-headed wonder. That's your guy. That's your guy. That's who you love the most. If you could be in the bed with him right now, you would be there with him probably, allegedly. So all I'm saying is, Rob Parker and the media is idiots once again. They're making it about competition instead of just honoring these 3 great men. It's just a travesty to me. Even on their day, you still have to find a way to throw shots at who's better. You guys want to say Tim Duncan is better because you guys are threatening that Kobe was better than your guy and still is. I don't care if he wins 2 more chips. He is a top 80 player. He is a bum. He is just a guy who relied on his athleticism. Once that faded, he faded. So they start allowing him to push off, knock guys over. It's like watching Shaq again. This is a travesty. You guys have always got to make it about your goddamn self. And the media is never going to learn that, look, stop pitting these guys. Y'all never pit NHL players or these white baseball players against each other. It's always this black guy versus this black guy. Y'all never pit the white guy against each other. Never. So I don't even want to hear that crap. gonna basically ask that question, who career would you have? Who cares? All three of them are different players. Now, Kobe and KG, I would pick them if I need somebody to carry my team. Those two guys can carry a team better than Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan is better placed in a system or with a team that is built. He's like Steph Curry. They're very great players, but they're great at being cogs in a system. If they're not the cog, or if your team is not ready or they're that great, they're going to struggle, as you saw before Tim Duncan and them, got to the finals again. They had some struggles because they had a lot of young talent, and they had to grow up fast in order for the Spurs to take it. And not only that, Tony Parker was a beast in some of those championships, but he don't get any credit. Ginobili was big off the bench. So you got to look at it. The margin of error, it's like the Spurs were 5. The Lakers, outside of Shaq, that team wasn't that good. The Blazers were better. There was a lot of teams better than that Lakers team. And that's facts. So we have to read between the lines and stop giving these fake media propaganda dudes or women these platforms when they're lying on these platforms or they're bending things to fit their narrative. And that's what is terrible, is that you can't get constructive criticism anymore. All you get is, oh, he's okay. He just has to sit down, he'll be all right. Worried about his feelings. Man, F his feelings. And Rob Parker, you out of line, bruh. You gonna talk about Kobe and everything, dude. The order goes Kobe, Tim, and KG. That's the order. It is what it is. Now do you think KG would be offended? Absolutely, because you guys didn't ask about his career. KG was a monster. KG was an athletic specimen for real. It just sucks that, his career down the stretch kind of faded. But KG was a problem child. Defending the rim, he could D up anybody one-on-one. He used to go at it with Timmy D. It is what it is. You gotta pay attention to stuff like that. To me, who would I pick? Who career would I take if it was up to me? Out of all three of them, I would take Kobe. Because Kobe didn't have the teams that Duncan had post Shaq, and in those games after that, Kobe had to hit big shots to put them up. Because the Spurs do not miss. The Spurs were dangerous. They need to do a best. They need to talk about I forgot what it was, but man, that it's like Kobe is known in circles that people don't watch basketball. Nobody's had an impact like that since Mike. I hope when they put his statue up, they make it a fadeaway. So thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive notifications. And if you like what you hear, you could cash at me at the word welcome, the number 2, and then HDIITV. Thank you all for listening and continuously to bless me. Thank you guys for that. We are out. Dizzy.